so is this the Zoom? It's not Zooming. Sorry. It's just, Dave is pretty big and he's pretty tiny right here, so.
Okay.
Oh, it's that. It's that up there. Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
I'm good.
So our first speech today is John Katricak, and he'll be evaluated by Stacy Neisen. John Katricak has been with American Greens for just under a year and works in the Order Services Department. He has many passions outside of work, and baseball is one of the biggest. His second speech is titled How to Catch a Fly Ball. It is Project 2 from the Competent Communicator Manual. Organize your speech. Please welcome John Katricak.
Thank you, Dave. Fellow Toastmasters, Matt, picture yourself on a day much like today, standing in a field of green grass. There are birds chirping, people chattering off in the background. You smell popcorn and hot dogs. All of a sudden, you hear a loud crack, and there's a white object flying towards you. Now, if you're playing baseball and you're out in the field, it's your job to catch that ball to retire the opposing batter. How do you do that? Well, assuming that you've set yourself up in the correct position before the ball is hit, you can easily move to the ball and then make the catch. Setting yourself up, there are a number of different stances you can take. Some people will just wander around or just stand. Some will bend down and they'll put their glove here, or they'll put their glove out. Of course, the gloves are covered with dirt. But the important thing in terms of stance is just to stay on the balls of your feet, so when the ball is hit, you're ready to move. Another slightly more advanced approach is where you're actually standing before the ball is hit, and that can be based on a number of things. If you aren't sure yourself, you could look for your coach who should be giving you directions. You can look at the other fielders, base your stance off of that. You can also look at the batters. Batters tend to pull the ball, which is hit the ball across their body. So you can always move yourself left or right based on where they hit. The important thing is that none of the other fielders or the umpires is blocking you. Other things to take into consideration with your position on the field is situation. Maybe the batter will be trying to hit in a particular direction to move the other runners over, or where the pitcher is going to throw. You can see where the catcher is set up, and where the pitch is going to go will also determine where the ball will be hit. And then you can also take into account your own abilities. Andrew Jones, who's a very good outfielder over the past 15 years, he's very good at running back on the ball, so he tends to play in a little closer. I'm the opposite. I feel I'm better at running in, so I take a few steps back just to compensate for it. But however, once you're set and once you're in the correct position and a comfortable stance, you can move to the ball once it's hit. Baseball coaches will always say that your first step should be back. And the reason for that is it's easier to start back and change your direction forward if you need to than the other way around. If you need to run to the side, your first move should be what's called a crossover step. And if you're going to the left, you'll take your right foot over the left and move in that direction. And likewise, you can cross over from left to right if you're moving to the right to catch the ball. If you have to run a long distance, it's important to run with you can pull your glove down. It's just you'll run a lot faster, a lot smoother like this, like you're running with no glove, than if you're trying to run like this for a long distance. You want to take a rounded path to the ball. It's just easier to recover from if you misjudge the ball, to just take a rounded path and just smoothly correct your path than to run in one straight line and then have to run in another straight line because you realize the ball has been hit farther than you first thought. Again, you want to run on the balls of your feet, and that prevents you from bouncing up and down if you run on your heels. And if you do that, it looks like the ball is bouncing up and down in midair. And if you're nearing a wall, you'll want to feel for it with your offhand. Just sort of prepare yourself and brace for impact. Otherwise, you'll do what I did once in high school and run into a chain link fence nose first at full speed. Finally, if you get close, when you get close to the ball and you feel that you're able to make the catch, another way to avoid a collision is to call for the ball. Not quite a mantra, but you'll repeat a phrase such as mine or me or I got it. And another thing to do is you'll want to wave your arms while you're calling I got it. And that way, if one of the other fielders can't hear you for some reason, maybe the crowd's too loud, they can at least see you waving and stay away and let you make the catch. Now finally, once you've moved into place, you can actually make the catch. If the sun's out, like today, while I was out getting my glove, you can use your glove to shield the sun, place it directly in front of the sun, you can see the ball off to the side. Or some baseball players will use special flip-down sunglasses that are a little darker than normal sunglasses. They leave them up most times, and then when they need them, they can tap the top of their hat and the sunglasses flip down and keep the sun out of their eyes. When you do make the catch, you want to, if you can, if you're able to, catch it about shoulder or head level, out in front of you, and on your glove side. That way, you can have your throwing hand right here, and it's easy to transition into the throw. And again, if possible, you also want to make that catch with two hands. I know many professionals do not, but for those of us who are not professionals, it's better to catch with two hands, not only to transition into the throw, but also to put your throwing hand over the ball to prevent it from popping out. So in conclusion, if you get yourself set before the ball is hit, the proper position, the proper stance, you can move to the ball once it is hit, get under it, and make the catch. It's Toastmaster.